two of the world's most talked about leaders, two very different countries, two distinct approaches to power. Today, we dive deep into the political worlds of Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, from the White House to the Kremlin, from democracy to authoritarianism, from Twitter storms to state control. How do these two leaders compare? What makes them similar? What sets them apart? Buckle up as we explore the fascinating world of global politics through the lens of two of its most controversial figures. President Donald Trump versus President Vladimir Putin, a political analysis. When we talk about modern world politics, two names often come up in conversations: Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. These two leaders have shaped global events in major ways. Trump served as the 45th President of the United States and returned to office in 2025. Putin has been Russia's leader for over 2 decades. While they lead very different countries with different systems, comparing them helps us understand how power works in today's world. Background and rise to power. Donald Trump's fall. Donald Trump came from the business world. He was a real estate developer and television personality before entering politics. Trump had no previous government experience when he first ran for president in 2016. He won that election by promising to make America great again and by presenting himself as an outsider who would shake up Washington. Trump's political style is very direct. He uses simple language and often speaks without a script. He became famous for using Twitter to communicate directly with the American people. His supporters loved this approach while his critics found it unprofessional. Vladimir Putin's journey. Putin's story is very different. He started his career working for the KGB, which was the Soviet Union's secret police. After the Soviet Union collapsed, Putin moved into government work in St. Petersburg. He then went to Moscow and slowly climbed the political ladder. Putin became Russia's leader in 1999 when President Boris Yeltsin resigned. Since then, he has remained in power either as president or prime minister. Putin presents himself as a strong leader who restored Russia's power after the chaos of the 1990s. Leadership styles. Trump's approach. Trump's leadership style centers on being unpredictable and bold. He makes decisions quickly and often changes his mind. Trump likes to negotiate and make deals. He believes in using Americans' economic power to get what he wants from other countries. Trump often criticizes the media and calls negative stories about him fake news. He prefers to communicate through social media rather than traditional press conferences. His supporters see this as being authentic and fighting against unfair treatment. Putin's method. Putin's leadership is more calculated and long term. He plans carefully and rarely shows his emotions in public. Putin presents himself as calm and in control. He uses Russia's military and energy resources as tools of foreign policy. Putin controls most of Russia's media. Critical journalists face serious consequences. Putin's government has been accused of silencing opposition voices through various means. He maintains power by controlling information and limiting political competition. Domestic policies. Trump's America First. Trump's domestic policies focused on America First. He wanted to bring manufacturing jobs back to America. Trump reduced regulations on businesses and cut taxes. He also tried to limit immigration and build a wall along the Mexican border. Trump questioned many international agreements that previous presidents had signed. He believed these deals were unfair to America. His supporters liked this approach, but his critics worried it would damage America's relationships with allies. Putin's centralized control. Putin has centralized power in Russia. He has weakened regional governors and made them more dependent on Moscow. Putin's government controls major industries, especially oil and gas companies. Putin has promoted traditional Russian values and the Russian Orthodox Church. He has passed laws that limit the activities of foreign organizations in Russia. Putin's supporters say this protects Russian sovereignty, while critics call it authoritarian control. Foreign policy approaches. Trump's deal making. Trump approached foreign policy like a business negotiation. He believed personal relationships with other leaders were very important. Trump met with many controversial leaders, including Putin, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, and others. Trump often criticized NATO allies for not spending enough on defense. He also started trade wars with China and other countries. Trump believed previous American leaders had made deals that hurt American workers. Putin's strategic thinking. Putin sees foreign policy as a chess game. He tries to expand Russian influence while limiting American power. Putin has used military force in Georgia, Ukraine, and other places to achieve his goals. Putin has built relationships with China, Iran, and other countries that oppose American leadership. He has also interfered in other countries' elections and political processes. Putin sees this as defending Russia against Western attempts to weaken his country. Relationship between Trump and Putin. The relationship between Trump and Putin has been controversial. Trump often praised Putin as a strong leader. This upset many Americans who saw Russia as an adversary. Trump's critics accused him of being too friendly with Putin. Putin seemed to prefer dealing with Trump rather than other American presidents. Both leaders said they wanted better relations between their countries. However, their governments still had many disagreements about various issues. Communication and media. Trump's direct style. Trump revolutionized political communication. He used Twitter to bypass traditional media and speak directly to millions of followers. Trump's tweets often created news stories and moved markets. He had large rallies where he spoke without teleprompters. Trump often attacked journalists and news organizations that criticized him. He called them enemies of the people. These worried people who believe free press is important for democracy. Putin's controlled message. Putin is much more careful about his public communications. He rarely gives interviews to independent journalists. Putin's government controls most Russian media outlets. Opposition voices have very limited access to large audiences. Putin uses state television to promote his image and policies. He often appears in stage events that show him as strong and capable. Putin's communication strategy focuses on projecting stability and strength. Economic philosophies. Both leaders believe their countries should be economically independent. Trump wanted to reduce America's trade deficit and bring manufacturing jobs home. He imposed tariffs on imports from China and other countries. Putin has tried to make Russia less dependent on Western technology and finance. After Western sanctions, Putin promoted import substitution policies. Both leaders see economic independence and is crucial for national security. Trump and Putin represent two different approaches to leadership in the modern world. Trump operates within a democratic system where he faces regular elections and criticism from free media. Putin has created a more centralized system where he faces limited political competitions. Both leaders appeal to nationalism and promise to make their countries stronger. They both criticize globalization and international institutions. However, they operate in very different political systems with different rules and constraints. Understanding these two leaders helps us see how power works in different contexts. Their approaches to leadership, communication, and policy making reflect the challenges facing democratic and authoritarian system in the 21st century. As global politics continues to evolve, the legacies of both Trump and Putin will likely influence world events for